I really hope you watched to the end of yesterday's video. I say that a lot. You've seen the thumbnail for today's video, so you know what might have happened. We've moved clubs, everyone. We are here at FC United of Manchester, our second club for FM22 Park to Prem. And we talked about it at the end of last episode. We'll talk about it in just a moment. But ultimately, the grass looked a little greener up north. And returning to a team that we managed once upon a time back on FM13, a club with infrastructure, money, a team that have stagnated a little bit at a level they are far bigger than they're currently playing at. And I think with our help, we can give them that extra little push. Today, we are going to get our feet under the table, survey the land, see our squad. Before we do that, though, let's run the intro. Whoa. Editing Jack. The wrong intro. Look, maybe just for today, shall we run the old FC United of Manchester intro from FM13? This is going to be a throwback for some of you. For others, you're going to sit there and go, this looks like it was made a decade ago. That's because it was. So yes, folks, welcome back to Park to Prem and the start of a new chapter at FC United of Manchester. At the end of last episode, I was feeling a little bit dejected, and I think the reality of the situation at Three Bridges was slowly starting to sink in. I was never going to get any coaching badges. They were just going to offer me yearly rolling contracts. There was never any long-term stability at the club. And with the debts just getting larger and larger, I've decided that the time was right to step away from Three Bridges. And you know what? I kept on brand a little bit. I resigned from Three Bridges before we took the FC United of Manchester job. So yeah, I thought thematically, I mean, if you don't know what this is a reference to, you're not on Twitch. We stream there on the regular. I tweet about it on Twitter. People tweet me about resigning. I'm embracing the meme. Yeah, I stepped away from Three Bridges. I think at the end of the season, I kind of came to this realization that I wasn't going to be able to do much better at Three Bridges. We'd amassed a pretty good squad for the level that we were at, but the board weren't going to put any more wage budget in. We were at risk of losing some pretty important players. And without any kind of end on the horizon, there was a real risk that we would just keep racking up the debt, maybe take out loans to cover it, but the infrastructure was never really going to grow with the club. And ultimately, if I couldn't get out the Isthmian League, my reputation, my stock as a manager was just going to drop because we'd start to perhaps underperform. So I decided that, you know what, after a playoff semi-final defeat, this was the right time to make the move across. That said, there's a couple of players here who I would desperately like to sign for FC United. Looking at you, Sadiq. But here at FC United, we are at a club with an established fan base. They have their own stadium, 2,200 fans. If we just look at the balance, there is money at this club. I've not seen this number in white text in Park to Prem in years in this save game. So that is really cool to see. This is a club that every year make a lot of money through ticket sales, through the support that they have. I mean, you can see just the amount of money that the team are actually making. It's a light year away from what was happening at Three Bridges. But in terms of FC United and Manchester, they're a team that should be higher than they are. A team that I think when they were promoted to the Vanarama National North, almost a decade ago now, they were expected to establish themselves there and perhaps continue to make that push up. And of course, teams fairly local like Salford have come and done the same thing and then gone beyond what FC United and Manchester have been able to do as a Phoenix club of Manchester United. I say as a Phoenix club. Obviously, Manchester United still exists, but for people who don't know, FC United of Manchester was established by Manchester United fans who weren't happy with the ownership, obviously, over a decade ago now. This is a team that for the last 5 years now have been stuck at this level. They finished second and failed to bounce back. They then finished 13th. Then obviously we had the COVID hit seasons. This year just gone, they sacked their manager after finishing third. You might be sat wondering, well, what does that mean for your expectations, Jack, and what they want from you? And the answer to that question is that they'll be pretty content if we just make the playoffs. So I don't feel like the expectations are too unrealistically high here. We've signed a 2-year deal at the club, so got a little bit of stability, a little bit of long-term ability to build a squad in my image. It's worth noting, we actually get a transfer budget of £20,000. And on top of that, our wage budget currently sits at £11,100. You might remember at Three Bridges, we had £3,200. So it's quite a conflicting and, well, contrasting atmosphere here at this team. It's very different. I'm going to have to get used to spending a bit more money, I feel like, all of a sudden. And this squad is going to have some flexibility and some room to maybe make some moves. In terms of the key players of the team, we've got Harry Wallace here, who, if we just look, was playing for Hull City. He was released. For the last 2 years, he has been absolutely tearing it up at this division. However, he is on £600 a week. That is a fairly substantial sum of money. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a phenomenal talent. He's an incredible centre attacking mid. I would like to keep him around, but obviously, because he's got some decent value, he is a player who I'm maybe open to selling. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that I want to sell the team's star player right away. But that is kind of where my head's at. I just feel like with these wages, I don't really want to be paying anyone probably more than £400, especially with all the money that we're going to have. I'd like to add a bit more depth to this squad, because I think when you look at this team right now, there's kind of a few star players and then there's everyone else. Anyway, the next best player, who at least is going to be around for next year, is Nathan Harker. And for some reason, his face is familiar. I feel like I had him at Towler Town. In fact, I'm convinced I had him at Towler. Please let me know. I don't remember every player as part of every series I've ever done here on YouTube. He is definitely a familiar face, a very, very good goalkeeper. Got a contract at the end of next year, which is always good. You might have noticed here, we have got a goal scorer here, 16 goals to his name, in Heidi Gandor. Very, very good player. Lebanese international with 1 goal. He is leaving the club at the end of his contract. So there is going to be a little bit of a gap, I feel like, in the striking department. When you look at things here, we have got Keaton Mulvey, whose contract is also running up this year. And we've also got Keelan Addons, whose contract's also running up this year. When you actually look at the kind of squad, almost half the first team squad have contracts expiring. So we are going to be able to build this team in our own image. I'm hoping, and this might sound terrible to say, but because Three Bridges have a load of financial issues, they might be quite open to selling some of their players to us. So, as I said, Sadiq, Aaron Ben, I would like to be reunited with them. But if there's any other players that you think I should sign, let me know about them. I already know the comment section is going to just be flooded with Gala comments, isn't it? Another really important player for this team whose contract is currently running down is Yannick Isakakonu. I hope I've done Yannick's name justice. We'll just call him Yannick. It's easier for everyone involved. Very, very good player. You can see here a centre-back. His contract runs up at the end of this year, but with 16 leadership, he's a very, very important player to this team. I'm now sat thinking maybe I should just offer him a new deal right away. Leading player for this division. Bright green consistency. Potential for the league above us. He wants new attackers. I'm going to be bringing in attackers. I don't necessarily want to promise a promotion I can't guarantee, even though I would expect us to get promoted next year. I really want to be challenging for the title, especially with the kind of money that we have. I'm a little bit concerned that he's now going to ask for a silly amount of money. He's currently on £375. As I said, £400 I feel like is my limit. So I'm just going to offer him he's asked for £700. Yannick, you're one of the leaders here. I want to build a team around you. I can't do it on £700. And this is one of the reasons, actually, why it might be in my interest to let Harry Wallace go, even if he's been tearing it up at this level. Because he's on £600, any players I bring in who kind of feel like they're of a similar squad status and quality to him are going to want these ridiculous wages that really I don't... I mean, I probably could afford it for Yannick, and it might not be a bad decision, but it's just going to make me struggle with the wages way more than we need to. If I start offering all these players £700 a week, very quickly, all this surplus wage budget I'm bigging up is just going to vanish away from us. In terms of the facilities here at FC United of Manchester, as I mentioned, they've got their own stadium, which is really good. We're not renting off anyone. We don't have to give anyone some extra money. We've got basic training and youth facilities, average academy coaching, fairly basic youth recruitment. Of course, these are all things I would certainly like to push up at this club, and they should be more than possible to push up. Because we've actually got finances, we can invest into a longer term vision here at FC United. I see this club being a team that I could take all the way to the Premier League. Let's not rule that out completely, but certainly a team that can, I think, become a well-established Football League team. I want to say without too much difficulty, but at the same time, I realise I'm jinxing myself by saying that. But this just feels like, at least to me, a team that is set up for success, has stagnated a little bit at a level that I've shown that I think I can navigate pretty well with Three Bridges. And in terms of as a career move, it just makes a load of sense, really. In terms of youth team prospects at the club, there are some okay players here. We've got John Williams, who's 16 years old. He is a Welsh player. I think he must have come in this year or last year's intake. He looks pretty solid by all accounts. There is also Stuart Booker here, who is a centre mid, a more defensive player. Actually, when I look at his polygon, I kind of feel like he could be a very good centre back, and maybe I should trade. I was going to say maybe I should trade him there. Apparently, the staff before me thought the same. Great minds think alike. Yeah, Stuart could actually be a really good centre-back, I think, for us. So having had a little bit of a look through the team, this is kind of what I've got in terms of a first team that I'm happy with. As I said, this is a team that lacks a little bit of quality and depth. Wallace is definitely the star man, but another player worth being aware of is Bob Walton. He was signed from Whitley Bay, but then loaned back immediately. He's obviously been playing for them on the regular. He looks like he could be a very, very good deep line playmaker at 19 years old. To have 16 passing and 13 vision at this level is absolutely mad. He actually looks like a pretty exciting player, so do not be surprised to see him kind of pulling the strings from deep, maybe being a Perlo in our system or something. Elsewhere in the team, in the defence, we've already talked about Harker and we've talked about Yannick. I need to convince Yannick and his little smiley face to stick around, but not on £700. The other centre-back who's here beyond this year is Harry Lee. He is a good little player. For some reason, at some point, someone decided to play him at centre mid, centre attacking mid and striker. I'm not going to ask any questions on it. He looks like he could be a really, really good defender for this level. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of some. I feel like maybe him and Sadiq. Could that be a partnership? Could we pair them off together? I mean, you can see here when you compare him to Sadiq how much of an upgrade this squad quality is. Considering what we were able to achieve with Three Bridges' team, I'd like to think with a few players of Harry Lee's quality, we are going to be up there challenging for promotion this coming year. But anyway, today is a little bit of a weird episode, and that is because I've got a super busy summer ahead. I'm not going to be able to get a daily video out if I don't do this video today, and rather than not give you an upload for your Thursday, I'd rather upload this, give myself a chance to play through pre-season, get in a load of players. We come back for the start of a new season, but I feel like it's always nice when you come to a new club just to kind of get acquainted with it, see the lie of the land, work out what's going on, and of course just have a little bit of a pause and a moment for reflection. As we reflect back on the previous, 2.5 years at Three Bridges, a team who we saved from relegation on the final day of the year, won the playoffs with, had such a disappointing end to the season with last year, and kind of wave off to them and wish them a bon voyage. Of course, we will keep an eye on Three Bridges. We will see how they get on in my absence. I'm keen to see them hopefully establish themselves at Isthmian level. Of course, if they go straight down, I look like a miracle worker and I will big myself up a load, albeit with a small tear in my eye. So let me know what you made of this club move. Good decision, bad decision. What would you be doing with the team that we have at the moment? Am I thinking correct in terms of letting all these contracts run down, maybe evaluating some of the players who possibly are worth keeping, and then trying to build a fresh new team with all the money that we've got at our disposal? Of course, being based in Manchester, we're going to have access perhaps to players released from Manchester City's academy, Manchester United's academy, even, as far away as kind of Leeds and Liverpool. Those kind of players should hopefully fall in our catchment range. And with the money we have, I'd like to think we can bring in some super high quality players for this level. But anyway, that is everything from me today. Appreciate no match today, bit of a more chilled out kind of introductory episode. We've got our feet under the table, as I said earlier. I'm comfy. I'm ready for the summer. I hope you're ready for tomorrow. I'll see you guys for season number 4 of Park to Prem FM22 with FC United and Manchester. That's going to take a little bit of a while to get used to saying. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.